Greetings and welcome to the sixth episode of Dvalin's Tavern, your go to gaming podcast. The podcast is all about gaming news, interviews, roundtable discussions, and reviews. Today, I got a quite exciting agenda for you. So, as you might know, there has been Summer Game Fest. So, both the main event, Summer Game Fest, there's been Xbox Showcase, there's been PlayStation. I can't even remember what they call that show. And we have also got the Ubisoft Forward. And basically, we have got a lot of announcement shows. We already talked about the PlayStation 1. In today's episode, we're going to talk about Summer Game Fest. And we are actually going to talk about everything that got announced. Usually in these podcasts, I have like 2, 3, 4, 5 different topics we need to talk about. But today, this episode is just about everything that was announced at Summer Game Fest 2024. So if you already seen it and you know everything else about the show what wasn't shown, I have totally respect that you want to skip this episode because we basically got to talk about everything that got announced. I will put my personal opinion about the different games and basically maybe just give you an opinion about what I saw at the trailers and what I think about it. But yeah, that's the agenda for today. The Summer Game Fest 2024, everything announced. So again, welcome to the podcast and let's go. So let's talk about it. What is the first trailer a show like this would show up? Because this game show is basically about announcements, new games, the future of gaming. And for a show like that, what kind of trailer do you throw in at the first of the show? Like, do you take the best one? Do you take the weakest one? Do you take which kind of trailer do you throw in the first part of the show? And I actually felt like they actually chose a really, really good one. It wasn't the best, the trailer quality was very good. But the game itself wasn't the most anticipated game, but it was a very strong family game. And yes, the first trailer, the first announcement they brought to Summer Game Fest 2024 was Lego Horizon Adventurous. So basically, Horizon, that's the PlayStation game you know of, where you are in this future world with dinosaurs that are robots. And this game is basically a Lego version of it. And as a Danish person, I'm proud to see that, because, Lego is coming from Denmark and I'm a Danish person. So it's always cool to see Lego. It kind of feels like family. I know I have nothing to do with the company who makes Lego, but still, it is a Danish thing. So we can have some proud because you don't talk often about Denmark in the media, but actually see Lego games out there getting praised is nice. It's nice knowing that we actually have made something that people talk about. We of course have made a lot of things, but it was just like a point. But again, so Lego Horizon Adventures is coming to PlayStation 5. It is also coming to Steam and Epic Games, Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. So they have exclusively chosen to not release this game on Xbox. Basically, just to say, hey, we respect that games is a big income and we want to sell more games. But we don't want actually still Xbox to get our games. So it's fun. Still after, this time we are in where people are kind of saying, hey, okay, should we drop this console war and just release games on all consoles and earn money all? But yeah, I guess. But again, let's talk about this. The highly anticipated Lego Horizon Adventure game was unveiled at the start of Summer Game Fest, showcasing brick versions of Aloy and the iconic robot dinosaurs family to fans. The initial footage revealed a family-friendly Lego adventure distinct from Guerrilla Games' mainline series and hinted at a co-op mode allowing friends to play together. Additionally, the game will feature customization options. Lego Horizon Adventure is set to release this holiday season on PC via Steam and Epic Games Store, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation 5. So again, this was the trailer, this was the announcement they started the show with. And I will say it was a strong one, and I do respect that they chose to start with this one. But then the next trailer, Quidditch Champions. So, if you don't want to know what Quidditch is, I'm not even sure if I'm saying it correctly, but basically, Harry Potter fans would know what it is. Quidditch. So, Quidditch is the game in Harry Potter where they're flying around on the, oh God, what do you call that in English? Brooms, spoons, brooms. You basically, oh God, this is the worst time not being like what you call it, native English speaker, because I have no idea what they called the things they fly on in Harry Potter. Bruins? I don't know. You know what I mean. So in Denmark, we call them koste. But I don't know. That's not the English word. Okay, but yeah. Harry Potter fans eagerly awaiting new content after last year's release of Hogwarts Legacy can now look forward to Harry Potter Quidditch Champion. This exciting new game is set to launch on September 3, 2024, and will be available on PC via the Epic Game Store and Steam, as well as on a Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. So basically, this game is not going to be like it's not going to have any content exclusivity to any platform. It's going to come on all consoles. And I mean, honestly, a sport game where it's about Quidditch is kind of cool, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan. So this could be maybe something for you. Maybe, maybe not. All right. So that was the second announcement. The third announcement is a game called No More Room in Hell 2. And I have to admit, this game actually got me quite excited. Let me read up the little post about it first. No More Room in Hell 2 Early Access arrives this Halloween. No More Room in Hell 2 is set to bring its intense first-person shooter zombie action early access this Halloween. First-person shooter zombie action to early access this Halloween. The gameplay footage showcases a brutal combat and relentless enemies, featuring a dismemberment mechanic and a variety of weapons. The trailer also hints at an 8-player co-op mode, promising a world rich in replayability. So basically, watching this trailer, it kind of like looked like a big map, like a big open world map, kind of like not like we're not talking the size of Grand Theft Auto, Zelda, that kind. Like it's more like imagine a big city, a very big city, where you can actually be up to 8 people in co-op mode. We see the streets are full of like monsters, zombies, like things, creatures, basically, and you have to like run around, I guess, scavenge. I don't know, maybe like a more brutal version of Last of Us, but just like co-op, kinda. I'm quite excited to see what this game is going to bring us. But if you're into zombie gaming, first-person shooter, and basically no PvP but just PvE, and it's going to be co-op up to 8 people, I think this is a gem that is worth wishlisting on Steam and waiting for. So I'm excited for this one here. This is of all the games so far we talked about. I mean, it is only the third one. This is definitely one that is going to be on my wish list, and it's going to be bought day one because I need to see what this is going to be. But yeah, it's nice. And I'm totally into zombies. Like I love. Okay, that sounds weird. I don't love zombies, if you know what I mean. But I'm just like I love zombie movies, zombie games. It's such a cool thing. Zombies. I don't hope it's gonna happen in real life, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Let's move on before this gets too much awkward. The fourth thing they're gonna show, I can't keep counting which announcement it is, but we're gonna stop here as the fourth count and not just mention the games. But the next game they showed was Star Wars Outlaws. So if you haven't heard about that, Star Wars Outlaws is basically the first open world RPG game that is set in a Star Wars world. And Ubisoft had the honor to make this game. And honestly, it actually looks pretty cool. And they had a long gameplay trailer reveal. Like, that was a long gameplay teaser of the game they showed. And we have known about this game for a long time, but of course, they had a long gameplay video they wanted to show here because they want people to actually see the game and get excited for it. I mean, imagine Grand Theft Auto with no multiplayer and then Star Wars. That's basically how I'm going to imagine this is going to be like. But let's read the little poster. Ubisoft's first venture into an open-world Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws, made an appearance at Summer Game Fest 2024 with an exciting new gameplay trailer. The trailer featured rapid cuts of scoundrel-centered sci-fi adventure, showcasing both family and new location as protagonist Kay Vess navigates her way through the Empire. More details are expected at the upcoming Ubisoft Forward, and the game is set to launch on August 30. So I did also watch the Ubisoft Forward, and again, they just showed more gameplay, like literally just showed more gameplay. They showed that you can actually run to your spaceship, leave the planet in your spaceship, fly around the space, helping people in the space, killing pirates in space, and flying to another planet and land. Basically what people wanted in Starfield, but didn't really give you that that experience. But Star Wars Outlaws is actually going to give you that free feeling of being able to fly around the universe, which I think a lot of people is going to buy the game for because they probably want to fly around the universe. One thing I would like to see is that you can actually stop in while flying in the universe, kind of like stopping, leaving your car, leaving your spaceship, and just floating in space while walking around your spaceship. That would be so freaking cool. Just standing and watching out of the windows and just seeing space go, just space out there. That would be so kind of like Sea of Thieves, where you can just you don't have to control the ship. You can just stand and look at the water. That would be so goddamn cool. I would really, really enjoy that. But yeah. So again, August 30, if you're looking for a Star Wars open world game, I am not a person who likes to play single player games, but I did enjoy playing Dragon's Dogma 2. I could also see myself playing this game, especially since I'm a part of the Ubisoft Creator Program. So if I get a possibility where they give me the game, because you're a partner with them, and they of course want to give you games so you can play them, review them, make content about them. I mean, it's basically a free commercial for them. I would definitely play it. If they don't give me a key, I'm probably gonna buy it anyway, since a freaking open world Star Wars game, I have to try that. So, but again, August 30, we gotta see. If I look at my release radar, I have on my Discord server. I have a calendar on it where I'm sharing with everyone what is releasing, and we can see that Star Wars Outlaws is releasing August 30, which is 4 days after the new World of Warcraft expansion releases, and it's 10 days after the Guild Wars 2 expansion is releasing. So I would actually say that the timing is really, really bad for me, because I'm an MMORPG player, and I would probably prefer playing Guild Wars 2 or the new World of Warcraft expansion over Star Wars Outlaws. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's move on. The next one is something I think a lot of people did not expect, and a lot of people got up from their chairs when they saw this. But yes, the next announcement was Sid Meier's Civilization 7. Oh boy, yeah. So basically the head title of this was Sid Meier's Civilization 7 is coming to console in 2025. And I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, it is Civilization 7. I'm not the best to Roman numbers, but it's basically VII, which is 7. So it's coming to consoles in 2025. Of course, it's also going to come to for PC. But it's the poster here saying developer of Firaxis Games and 2K have announced the highly anticipated strategy game Sid Meier's Civilization 7 will be released for PC and consoles in 2025. The reveal trailer, while not featuring any gameplay, provided atmospheric glimpse to keep fans intrigued. In August, Firaxis will host a gameplay showcase, giving players a close look to what to expect from this new installment. I wouldn't like believe that they're gonna like go away from how the base game is because Civilization 6 is pretty popular. So if they totally like change the game into something totally different, I would be very, very surprised. So I would imagine it's gonna be the same as Civilization 6, just better, more features, and of course maybe some things that people don't like about Civilization 6. Maybe they have like improved it. But again, we don't know. But as they say here, in August they're gonna have like a live stream where they're gonna be like showing the game. So look forward to August. Then we will see more about Civilization 6. Next up, they showed us the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I think it was called Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, isn't it that? Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just a weird title because it has, after sparking, it has an exclamation mark. So you would imagine the title has ended, but it actually has zero behind it. Zero. Or I think in English you say C for set. You know what I mean, like zero. But basically, Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero was shown to this as the next game, and also it was set to release for October. The Dragon Ball franchise continues its legacy of intense Super Saiyan gameplay with the upcoming release of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Launching on October 11, 2024, the game will be available for PC via Steam, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS. The latest preview showcased the destructive abilities of iconic characters such as Goku, Frieza, Buu, Vegeta, and more. Additional pre-orders will include 6 early characters unlocks, featuring yet to be revealed mystery fighters. Bum bum bum. Interesting. So if you're into Dragon Ball, look forward to October. There's going to be a new Dragon Ball game for you. All right, let's move on. So the next game they announced was Batman Arkham Shadow, which is basically a VR game. So if you're into VR games, nice. If you're not into VR game, damn it. But basically the header is saying Batman Arkham Shadow trailer introduced players to VR Gotham City. The MetaQuest 3 exclusive Batman Arkham Shadow has emerged from the shadows, offering DC fans a detailed look at younger Batman and the new challenges he faces. The latest footage, unveiled during Summer Game Fest, provided a cinematic glimpse of Bruce Wayne in a setting familiar to Arkham's fans. The trailer introduced the Rat King as the main villain and includes several Easter eggs for those keen on spotting nods to other Gotham City criminals. Basically, as the trailer showed us, was like every person in the city, every time it became dark, they all had like a mask on because they all work for the Rat King somehow. So it's gonna be a game where you're basically gonna be against a lot of people in the city. You are, of course, the young Batman, the younger version of Batman, and it's gonna be VR and exclusive to the MetaQuest 3. I have been heavily thinking about getting the MetaQuest 3. I just feel like the PlayStation VR too expensive, and I like that the MetaQuest 3 is a headset you can go take with you anywhere. You could just take it anywhere and play with it, where the PlayStation one require your PlayStation to be there. So this could actually push me in the direction to actually get the MetaQuest headset. But you know, they cost a bit money, so it's not like a free thing. It's expensive. It's like the same price as the Steam Deck, so I actually like the big Steam Deck. So I'd had to think about that. Next up, we got Street Fighter 6 announcement. Street Fighter 6 is getting a Fatal Fury crossover. Capcom is set to expand Street Fighter 6 with exciting new content in Season 2, introducing 4 new characters. This upcoming season promises to be one of the game's most action-packed yet, featuring a crossover with Fatal Fury that brings Terry and Mai into the fray. Additionally, classic Street Fighter characters, Mr. Bison, I don't know if it's Mr. Bison, it's just a M. Bison. I'm not a Street Fighter, no, but it says M. Bison, sporting a fresh look, and Elena will join the roster. This new content will be rolled out through the remainder of the year. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I assume Capcom is set to expand Street Fighter 6. I assume Street Fighter 6 release date. So yeah, that game came out June the 2nd, which June the 2nd in 2023. So basically what they're saying is like there's gonna come a lot of new content in this new season. All right. That's actually pretty cool that they had a trailer to the Summer Game Fest, which is basically not a new game, but it's just like a new season for Street Fighter 6. But getting a lot of new content. So, and I guess the game is pretty big. Like, I have no idea about how the fighting game market looks like. So, I would imagine it's a big thing. All right, let's move on. Next on, Bloomhouse Games unveils Crystal Theater of Idols, Fear the Spotlight, and more. Blumhouse, renowned for its horror movie like Megan and Five Nights at Freddy's, is venturing into the gaming industry. Instead of debuting with a single game, the studio has announced a range of horror games from various teams, including Eyes Out, Half Mermaid, Cozy Game Pals, Perfect Garbage, Play Me Studio, and Vermila. Blumhouse aims to cater to diverse gaming preference, starting with Fear, the Spotlight, of upcoming titles including Grave Seasons, Sleep Awake, and Crystal Theater of Idols, ensuring a variety of horror experience for different players. So basically, if you don't know, so Bloomhouse, what is it called again? Bloomhouse is basically a production who makes horror movies again, like Five Nights at Freddy, Imaginary, Megan, The Black Phone, different movies, and they have of course seen that the gaming industry is basically making more money than the gaming industry is making more money than the Hollywood industry. So you should try and look that up. It's insane how much gaming is making more money than the movie industry. It's like you wouldn't believe that. You would think like, Hollywood movies would be earning more than games. No, that's not the case. Gaming is actually earning more. And mobile gaming is a big portion to that as well. Like those mobile games where people they just want to buy like two more pools and Candy Crush and stuff like that is earning big bucks. But basically, Bloomhouse want to go into the gaming industry, so they have made this like this studio has announced, announced various teams. Like they have all these teams together in there, so you can imagine. I guess it looks like kind of like how Xbox is doing it, EA, basically have all these studios under them, which is making games. So basically, I think in that trailer we saw like 5 to 7 horror games, which all looked quite interesting in their own way, very unique. So I guess what he wants to do is, well, Bloomhouse, I guess what they want to do is they kind of want to take over Steam with horror games. So when you find a horror game that is popular on Steam, of course they want to be the games. So when you look for horror games on Steam, their games needs to be in there. And that's what I think the passion is for them. They will of course keep doing movies as well, but they will also be trying to come in and heist the horror gaming space, which I have totally respect for. That is so cool. But yeah, looking forward to see what they have. Next up, we have Power Rangers Ritas Rewind. Ritas Rewind. So basically, rewind, like when you rewind a tape or something like that, or music, it's called Ritas Rewind. And it reveals a new old school style beat them up. Beat them up gaming fans were transported back in the 90s with reveal of Power Rangers Ritas Rewind at Summer Game Fest 2024. This retro inspired game allows players to team up as the original Rangers to battle Putties, and other iconic villains. The game stands out for its variety of activities, seamlessly switching between beat 'em up, first person shooter, and racing gameplay, offering a diverse and nostalgic experience. See, this is if it was only a beat 'em up game, I would probably not bother with the game. Like I have played a lot of those games in my life, but what really sold me on this game was that, as it just said here, the game had both beat 'em up, it had both first person shooting and racing. Like it had so many different old school stuff into the game, like with the graphics. You have to see the trailer how the game looks like. it's very unique. Like I like it. It's very very cool. And of course, I would imagine this game has co-op. I'm actually not 100% sure. I would imagine that this game has some kind of like co-op. Actually, I do believe it's here. Yeah, I just found it on Steam, and it does say single player and online co-op and shared split screen co-op. So it does have couch co-op. It does have online co-op and single player. So that's cool. That's cool. So I can actually buy this and play with my friends online, which is gonna be fun. It's gonna be really really fun. But yeah, kudos to the team behind that game. That was a nice game. And did they actually say no? No. Okay. All right. Next on. So Mecha, Mecha Break. Mecha Break sets beta test date for this August. Mecha Break made an appearance at Summer Game Fest 2024, unveiling a new trailer and announcing an upcoming beta test this August. Although the exact date for the beta was not specified, the presentation highlighted the involvement of renowned designers Takayuki Yanase, so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Metal Gear, Gundam, Armored Core, and so basically, I guess he's behind. Well, he worked with Metal Gear, Gundam, and Armored Core, and Yunia Ishigaki, which has worked on Xenogears and Gundam, who contributed to the game's mech designs. More details about Mecha Break will be revealed at the August beta test approach. So, Mecha Break, how can I say how the game is? Mecha Break is basically a game, you know, those games where you have robots fighting each other, where it's very like fast and action paced. I used to play games like this back in the days when I was a kid on my PlayStation, I believe it was. But basically, you know, you have a one versus one duel, for example, where you play a robot, he plays a robot. You can switch out your parts on your robots. Basically, you can have like a tank body, or you can have legs, you can have jetpacks, rockets on your arms, whatever you want. Everyone can build their own unique robots, and then basically you fight other people. What was really really cool about this was basically you could also have melee weapons like spear and swords. I think we saw in the trailer. I'm not gonna play this game myself because this is way too intense, way too PvP focused, and it's a game where if you're good to it, you could see. And it's kind of like going into fighting games now, not playing them for your entire life. It would be a disaster for me. So it's a genre that I am not gonna play myself, but I do think when looking at the trailer, it looked freaking cool. Like honestly, it looked really really good. All right. Let's move on. Next up, The First Descendants. I know a lot of people got really, really excited about this. So basically, The First Descendant gets a July release date. Nexon's free-to-play sci-fi looter shooter, The First Descendant, is set to launch on July the 2nd. So July the 2nd for PC via Steam, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. The release date was announced alongside a new trailer showcasing the game's fast-paced exosuit suit action. Nexon has also promised to share more information about the launch elements and events as the release date approaches. With only a few weeks to go, fans can expect to hear more details soon. And going into our release calendar, as I mentioned before, we can see here that Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail, the expansion for Final Fantasy, is releasing on the 28th June. So basically, we're actually getting Tarisland, another MMO, on the 21 June. Then 28 June, we're getting Final Fantasy 14, the new expansion for that, Dawn Trail. And then we're getting First Descendant on the 2nd of July. And in my world, I see First Descendant as an MMO. It kind of reminds me of like the Destiny vibes, the Warframe vibes. I would classify it as an MMO myself. Like personally, I would say it as an MMO. So of course it's gonna have to battle against Terrasland and Final Fantasy, but again, this game is a shooter. It's a shooter game, third-person shooter in a robot suits. So they're probably not going to be fighting against Terrasland and Final Fantasy. It's more going to be Terrasland and Final Fantasy fighting each other. But more interesting is that I think we're coming to that later in this program. But another game, just like the first Descendants, called Once Human, is actually releasing on the 9th of July. So the first Descendant and Once Human are actually going to be fighting each other, and both of the games are, as you can say, a third-person shooter game where I know Once Human is more about looting, running around the world, and surviving, kind of MMO feeling ish. And the first Descendant is more about like missions and not, you don't have to eat and drink water and stuff like that. It's more like a Destiny vibe. But still, it's a lot of games we're getting suddenly in June and July and very close to each other. But yeah, I am honestly excited to the first Descendant. I know a lot of people who are also excited in my community is also very excited for this game. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting to play, and especially since it's coming on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, that always makes the games bigger. And as of course, as a content creator, as I am, it's always going to also, you know what I mean. Like the more people who plays your game, the more people are going to search for videos about the game. Of course, it also means more content creators are going to be making videos about the game. But it goes in a circle. But yeah, so yeah, if you're looking for a new game like even like Destiny 2 or Warframe, this is your go-to. This I think it has a really really good mix of what Destiny, if Destiny and Warframe had a child, because it doesn't have the very very fast weird movement that Warframe has. Sorry for if we have any Warframe lovers here. I just don't like the movement in Warframe. I feel like it's the way you like jumping around very quickly and just can run through a map in 2 seconds. I know it's the feeling of being a ninja in the game, but for some reason it's not really appealing to me. Destiny 2 I don't like because it's first person, and I don't know, I just don't like first person. So this game actually brings like a lot of cool stuff, in my opinion, to the table. So yeah, if you're looking for a new Warframe Destiny 2 kind of game, the first Descendant is gonna be the game you're gonna look forward to. Next up, we have a game that I know a lot of people is gonna get excited about. It's a very very popular game, and Alan Wake 2 Night Springs DLC is out. When the show was, it was out tomorrow, which basically means the people who are Alan Wake 2 fans could already wait till the next day after the game show, the Summer Game Fest, to get the new DLC. Remedy Entertainment, Sam Lake, announced at Summer Game Fest 2024 that the first DLC for Alan Wake 2, titled Night Springs, will be released in less than 24 hours. The surprise reveal showcased a trailer hinting an intriguing connection within the studio's expansive game universe, notably featuring an appearance by Control's Jessa Faden. How she fits into the story remains a mystery, but all will be unveiled when players dive into Alan Wake 2 Night Springs tomorrow, June 8th. So if you didn't know that and you have Alan Wake 2 and you actually like that game, like you enjoyed it and you want to play it more, there is a new DLC for you right now. I do actually not know if this what you call it, if this DLC is actually something you have to buy. It doesn't look like it's on Steam for some reason, but I don't know if you actually have to buy it or if you could just play it. You would have to check the platform, whichever platform you have Alan Wake 2 on. You need to check if you can actually just play it or if you need to. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, if you're into Alan Wake 2, something new is for you there. Next up, we have a game. Well, I would say it's a game that people have known for a long time would come out, but they've been waiting for it. It's EA's Skate game. Skate gameplay reveals console playtests are on their way. EA's long dormant Skate franchise made a comeback at Summer Game Fest 2024, giving fans a glimpse of its gameplay. True to its root, Skate showcased player climbing buildings and navigating the city with chaotic freewheeling actions, despite still being in pre-alpha. So not just alpha, not pre-alpha, but pre-alpha. There's promising news. Console playtests are on the horizon, Fans eager to return to their skateboarding can sign up for the playtests, which are set up to begin this fall. Basically, when they showed this trailer, it was like seeing a skating MMO. Like, there was a lot of people at the same place skating. Like, it feels like they're gonna make these. I don't know. I guess you can just jump into social sessions where you're gonna be grouped up with. I guess it's gonna be like Fortnite when you do those social games where you just gotta get into a session where maybe like 50 other people are in the same map and you're just gonna be cruising around. But it was a lot of people in the same map cruising around on skateboards. If this game was free to play, honestly, I would download it. I would try it for. I would play it on my on my Xbox. I would love being in my sofa and just skating around on my Xbox. That would be so fun. If it's a game that is going to be behind 60 euro or 70 euros, it's gonna be a no from here. But only because it's not gonna be a main game for me. It it's just gonna be like it's gonna be like a off game. It's gonna be a cozy game. So I could maybe go to 30 or 20, but or even if it was free to play and they just sell like cosmetics, I could see that. Like, skating clothing, skateboards, and still make the game free to play. That would be pretty cool as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Next up, a pretty big one. Like this is a big one. Valorant, Riot's shooter game, the competitor to Counter Strike, Valorant, is coming to consoles. Riot Games, the developers behind League of Legends, is bringing its competitive fantasy shooter Valorant to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and X. This marks a significant expansion for the game, which has been exclusive to PC since its launch. While the console version won't feature cross-play support, Riot Games has confirmed that players will be able to maintain their progress across the platforms through cross-progression. A limited beta test is scheduled to begin next week on June 14, which is actually tomorrow from this recording, with the full console launch expected to follow sometimes in the future. So I honestly think this is super cool because look at Overwatch, how much that game got in success because it was on PC and consoles. The point that Counter Strike, the new Counter Strike that came out, what is it called? Like CS Counter Strike 2, isn't it? Like Counter Strike 2, Counter Strike 2, I believe. Yeah, Counter Strike 2. The fact that this game is not out on consoles is actually very surprising for me. I do understand why they don't have it on consoles because they are like, hey, if you want to play Counter Strike, you need to have a PC and you need to have Steam. Equal to get more players on Steam. But for real, if they wanted Counter Strike to be even bigger and have more people playing it, they would make controller support and release it on console. And what Valorant is doing, I think it's perfect. It's going to make the game blow even more up. It's going to make it even more popular. And I am a big fan of they don't have crossplay. Because playing a competitive shooter like this with a PC against a controller, I don't think it's fair. I understand why it's fair, for example, in Fortnite. I understand how you could go to these professional esport competitions, and some people had controllers, some people had mouse and keyboard, because the game has a lot of it has a lot of what you call aim assist. Still, I would still say it's still easier to aim on the PC in Fortnite, but Fortnite is so much more than just aiming, where Valorant and Counter-Strike comes down to aiming. Aiming is the most valuable thing in this game. Like, if you can shoot always perfect in the head, it's going to give you a lot of, and also your reaction time and all of that. So, by splitting up the community on saying console plays with console, PC plays with PC, I think that's a good decision. But it's perfect. It's perfect that you have cross progression. So you can basically play all the years you played on your PC. If you want to go to the console, don't worry. All your levels, all your skins, everything is going with you. So that's perfect. I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. That's a good thing. But I'm definitely gonna download this on my Xbox and try it out. I will probably be really, really bad, but it's gonna be fun trying it on my console. I'm looking forward to it. All right, next up, Among Us animated series So basically, we saw a bit of Among Us animated series clips and Outer Sloth reveal. So there's two things here. Among Us announced they're gonna have a TV series, like some kind of like show. You know, I don't think that comes as a surprise. That game is very popular, was very popular, is probably still very popular. But they're of course getting a cartoon series, which I'm sure kids are gonna love, and also adults. I'm sorry, it's not only like a kid show, but there's also a lot of like teenagers and kids who plays this game, and I'm sure it's gonna be a show that everyone is gonna love and enjoy. But what they announced, I guess like a new gaming company, like a new thing called Outer Sloth reveal, like Outer Sloth, which is basically a company that have like taken a lot of indie companies, because they were also indie company. I mean, they are still, but see, that's the thing with indie companies. Basically, the Baldur's Gate 3 developers are calling themselves indie developers, which is kind of like, okay, now everyone can call themselves indie developers when they just don't have a publisher. I mean, okay. But basically, they also started as a very small company, and now they are very, very big, the people behind Among Us, because they, of course, have sold so much of this game. So they wanted to help out other indie games, basically taking them in, kind of, I guess, being as a publisher for them and helping them making cool games. So as it says here, developer Inner Sloth, which is the developer behind Among Us, made a splash at Summer Game Fest 2024, presenting the first look at an animated series based on its popular social party game, Among Us. After a long wait for details, the video showcased the series' art style and hinted the involvement of its star-studded cast. Additionally, Innersloth introduced a new initiative called Outer Sloth, designed to support indie developers, further demonstrating their commitment to the gaming community. And they also showed a few trailers of those games that they actually are helping, which is cool. Like, imagine being an indie developer and this company comes to you and say, "Hey, we like indie developers. We want to support you." I don't know what kind of like money contract they have with each other. Like, if Inner Sloth is supposed to like get money from the game, like saying, "Hey, every sale you do, we want 5%, 2%." I don't know if there's anything like that, or we don't know. But basically, they're helping all these indie developers, which is interesting. It's interesting. Next up, we got a new story trailer for Dune Awakening. Funcom's open world survival MMO, Dune Awakening, made an appearance at Summer Game Fest, giving players a closer look to its portrayal of Paul Atreides' rule. The cinematic trailer features a monologue by the fearsome ruler of Arrakis, reflecting on his past, future, and his past, future, and the possibilities that could have been. Dune Awakening will be showcased again at Gamescom this August and is set to launch for PC via Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Basically, what this trailer showed you was he was like he was kind of like talking about all the things he have done, and then he's like, "But what if my time? What if my line has been changed? What if this happened or this happened or my father didn't go to war?" And basically, if he didn't have like gone to this desert planet, is it called Arrakis? I can't remember. If he hasn't gone there, what would have happened then? Because then he wouldn't be like backstabbed and killed. So basically, what I think they're saying here is that you in Dune Awakening is writing a new story. And I know it sounds very cringe, kind of, like, "Oh, you are now the new," what was it they always said in the movie? Lisan Al Gaib? Was it Lisan Al Gaib? Lisan Al I need to Google that. Lisan Al Gaib. Yeah, it was Lisan Al Gaib. So basically, you will be the new Lisan Al Gaib. And how are you going to portray this world and make it? But we all know, basically, there's going to be a million of people. They all going to have their own story. But still, it could be fun. I'm still looking forward to this game. There was some talk I saw on different Reddits and forums that basically the game is not an MMO anymore, but it's kind of like going into like a open world, shared world thing. As some people said, it's not really like an MMO. It's more like a typical survival game, open world game, like the Conan game they have. So it's going to be interesting to see when it releases if it's actually going to have an MMO feel or if it's just going to be like a server based thing. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. But sadly, they didn't show any gameplay. They just showed this trailer, this cinematic trailer, which I feel is I feel it's weird. Basically, we already know Dune Awakening. Everyone knows about this game. Not everyone. A lot of people is excited about this game, and then they just show a cinematic trailer, which is like, okay, you paid a lot of money to be in the show to show you gameplay. Well, not even gameplay. You showed a cinematic trailer. I feel like this. You show a cinematic trailer to show like this if it's because you're gonna basically say, hey, we have this game, we are announcing this game, this is us, hello. But in this pace, this time, we a lot of us already know about this game. We already know what this game is. We already have seen gameplay kind of from it. Some kind of gameplay. I don't know like how much we actually have seen, but very limited gameplay. And then they come with a cinematic trailer where everyone is like, cool, 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 but can we see some more gameplay? But again, I guess they just kind of like want to remind everyone in the world that, hey, this game is coming, so be prepared. And again, it's also a great marketing strategy because a lot of people is now seeing the game again. And people who didn't know this game existed, they know they exist now. So yeah, cool, 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 cool. All right, next up. Next up, they showed Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And you might have been a fan of the first one, Kingdom Come Deliverance, but now we're getting Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Warhorse Studios is preparing for the release of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and treated Summer Game Fest viewers to a new gameplay trailer. This fresh look at the medieval sequel features a mix of tense battle and comedic moments, highlighting the diverse encounters and players can expect. While an exact release date has not been announced, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is anticipated to launch on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS later this year. So, honestly, from the trailer they showed, it looks fun. It's kind of like I saw some people saying it's literally Grand Theft Auto, but in a medieval age, because you can do whatever you want in this medieval age, and yeah, it's interesting. Interesting. It's not gonna be a game for me, but still interesting. Next up, Slitterhead gameplay trailer reveal, November release date. Silent Hill creator, I'm probably gonna say your name wrong now. Keiichiro Toyama unveiled a new trailer for his latest creation, Slitterhead. At this year's Summer Game Fest, this action-focused title from Bokeh Game Studio retains the eerie nightmare creatures reminiscent of the Silent Hill series, but provides player with additional tools for progression. Notably, players will be able to switch between humans and various animals to navigate the game's world. Slitterhead is set to launch on November 8. Oh, wait. I gotta remind myself, was that the game where you basically play as a was that a game where you basically play as like a bacteria or whatever, yeah, that was the game. I do believe it was. So it had an interesting trailer. Basically, you were like jumping between people. So you can imagine you are just like a I don't know, it's not even like a physical monster, but you kind of like imagine like a alien that is not having a physical body, but you can jump into people's brain, and then you control the humans. Basically, you can jump out of a building, and then you can jump out of your host, and of course the host is gonna fall down and die, but then you can go slow motion and look at all the other people standing around and jump into their head, and then you can use abilities like you can use your blood as abilities. Like you can like create swords out of your blood and spears and fist weapons, and it was a bit nasty game. And also you're gonna be fighting like aliens, which are also like parasites, kind of like. But yeah, I guess the parasite is a good word. You're basically a parasite, like a venom, jumping. Basically, yeah, you're a venom jumping from host to host, like from human to human, and can use different abilities from your blood. So it looked interesting. I'm not gonna say it looked bad or anything like that. It looked very interesting. Yeah, it did very interesting indeed. All right. So yeah, move on. Delta Force Hawk. So I was too young to know this game, since I think Delta Force release date was in when was the original game coming out? I can't remember. I think it was like 1998 or something like that. This game here was Delta Force in 1993. Yeah, I think, well, was it actually 1993 when I was actually born? Oh well. But basically, this game here is a game that has been before, and now they're basically remaking the game. So a very, very old game you can imagine is remade, same story and all that, into a new game with new graphics, which I know all the people who used to play this, I've talked with a few, are very excited. Delta Force Hawk Ops trailer promises global PC alpha test in July. Delta Force Hawk Ops showcase its grounded first-person shooter action at Summer Game Fest 2024 with an exciting new trailer. The footage highlights various locations and demonstrates how players can work together to complete missions. The trailer also announced a global PC alpha test for July, giving players an early opportunity to experience the game before it expands to additional platforms in the future. See, this is a game that I would actually, since it's kind of like, it's kind of like these PvE shooter games, if you know what I mean. It's like a PvE shooter game where you play these missions as soldiers, veterans, on these missions. And it even has like this co-op here, since it says people can like play together. This is games that I used to play with my dad actually quite a lot, like back in the days on PlayStation 2, 3. We used to play like these soldier military games where you had to like go through missions and complete objectives. So I would actually say, honestly, I'm gonna be excited for this one here. Probably gonna play it with him, since it's games where you can really sit down and focus. Like, okay, we gotta go this way. We gotta find this person here. We gotta find these hostages or anything like that, and basically play together. So I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of weird on the Steam page. They actually saying that this game is a single player game. It's an MMO. It's an online PvP, online co-op, and cross-platform multiplayer. I am not sure how much of an MMO it is, like honestly, but I'll guess we'll see when it comes out. But it's gonna be very interesting. Yeah, but if you already know what Delta Force is, Delta Force Hawk Ops is coming, so it's gonna be interesting. Next up, you might have known from YouTube. On YouTube, there's a thing called Killer Bean. Killer Bean. If I search on it, Killer Bean. So basically, you probably know Killer Bean. And I do believe Killer Bean, yeah, it was this movie here, a 1 hour and 24-minute movie, Killer Bean Forever, full movie. It's basically, you can imagine, it's a world where everyone is a bean. They have arms and legs, and it's it's very it's a very, how can I say it, a cringe movie. It's like, it's fun, but in a very a foolish way. It's like ha humor. And I guess this guy has just become like a meme. He's become a meme, and I mean, again, the movie is free on YouTube, and it has 61 million views. And basically, he is getting his own game. The tongue-in-cheek action game Killer Bean is set to bring its over-the-top sandbox gameplay to players in summer 2024. A newly released trailer showcased the game's surprising variety, featuring activities such as driving cars and jet skis, breakdancing through bullets, and switching between first and third person perspective. The sheer range of options will make it a game full of unexpected possibilities. More details about this gameplay will become clear when it becomes available in early access this summer. So, yeah, I guess it's gonna be like a Grand Theft Auto, but with Killer Bean, driving cars, jet skis, shooting, being a bit overpowered, and dodging bullets by doing breakdancing. So, I, reading Twitter, it seemed like it was one of the games that people were a lot of excited about. For me, who hasn't watched Killer Bean, I'm like, okay, like, fine, like, it is what it is. But yeah, I guess the people who are, I guess, like the people who are very likes the movie Killer Bean and are into the community, they are of course very very excited. So it's cool. It's cool. We are almost at the end. We have a few more games we need to talk about. So almost there. Next up, Wonderstop trailer reveals a cozy game with a dark secret. Annapurna in Annapurna Interactive, Ivy Road, and David Redden, creator of the Stanley Parable, unveiled a new game, Wonderstop. At Summer Game Fest, this cozy farming sim appears idyllic at first, with the protagonist gardening, making tea, and enjoying life in a charming fairy tale like town. However, it soon becomes evident that the quiet life may be hiding something unsettling. More about the underlying mysteries of Wonderstop will be revealed when it launches later this year on PC via Steam and PlayStation 5. I wonder why this game is only PC and PlayStation 5 and why it's not coming to Xbox as well. Maybe it's because the companies behind it, like the publisher Annapurna Interactive, or the developer is like a PlayStation partner or owned by PlayStation. I don't know. Watching the gameplay trailer, it reminded me a lot about Palia. Like honestly, if I saw someone play this and someone play Palia, I wouldn't really see the biggest difference, to be honest. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We don't know if this game is actually gonna have like combat of any sort or not. We just see this person here sitting and doing a lot of like normal gardening, basically having a tea shop, coffee shop, and a tea shop, I guess. But then she sits on a bench where you can see like she talks very dark about like she has some kind of like past where she was probably not a nice person. But we will see. We will indeedly see. Then we got an interesting announcement, which was received very interestingly, or whatever you say, on the internet, especially on Twitter. New World announced a new game expansion relaunch called New World Aeternum. New World Aeternum gets October release date for PC and consoles. So basically, New World is going to be on PC and consoles. It's going to have crossplay, no cross progression. So if you play on PC, you have your character there, but you can still play with your PlayStation or Xbox friend, but no cross. Amazon's upcoming MMO, New World Aeternum, is set to release on October 15, 2024. This enhanced version of the existing New World includes all previously released content, such as Rise of the Angry Earth expansion, along with new additions for players to enjoy. New features include a massive PvP zone, in-game solo trials, and updates to the dialogue system. Additionally, New World Aeternum will support crossplay between platforms, allowing new players to team up with friends on PC. So you can imagine we have right now the New World game, as you know, but it's basically relaunching into this New World Aeternum, where if you already have the base game and the expansions for New World, you will get this game for free on PC. Of course, console players will have to buy it again. But I read an article. They had to release an article this week because people were pissed, like they were angry, because they've been told by the developers, some big announcement would come this Summer Game Fest. And when people basically saw it was just like a refined version of the game with some a bit more content and a better storyline and so on. And console release, they were pissed because they believed they would get something amazing. But instead, they got a console release, which of course PC players doesn't care about, and they got a bit more content. I do admit the new PvP Massive Zone sounds fun and in-game solo trials, but I still think people have expected some kind of like new expansion with a lot more content or fixing to all the problems the game has. I don't know the problems the game has, but people were talking about like a lot of like they were talking about some problems the game has, which they're like, why is this not getting fixed? But we'll see more. I know the New World game right now is getting a lot of feedback and a lot of hate and a lot of criticism about what's going on, but still, it's gonna be interesting on the October 15th. If I'm bored on October 15th, I'm gonna try it. Like honestly, I'm gonna try it. Why not? I'm gonna make a new character and try the new questing system, the dialogue systems, and all that. Basically just gonna try it. And the thing is, it's a quite bad time it releases because the game is actually releasing on October 15. And just a few days before, on October 8, we're actually getting the new expansion for Diablo 4, which was announced on the Xbox Game Showcase, which is for the next episode I have for my podcast. And this is not good because if I actually are going to enjoy this new expansion for Diablo 4, there's no chance I would touch the New World relaunch. It's only if I really hate the new Diablo 4 expansion, I don't enjoy it, then I'm going to try the New World thing. But if I enjoy the Diablo 4, there's no chance I'm going to touch this New World thing. But again, it's cool that console players can basically play New World. And the game is also going to get swimming, fun enough. Yeah, you can actually swim now. But I see this, again, Amazon is basically right now working on a new MMORPG, which is set in the world of Lord of the Rings. It's officially Lord of the Rings new MMO they're working on. And they're going to use the same engine as they're using for New World. So you can say New World is basically an alpha product for them. New World is just a way they can see how. What I see is New World is basically a sandbox for them. This is the place where they can test, release the game on consoles, how they can make servers way better, and then all the best things they have learned from New World they can take to this new Lord of the Rings MMO, which of course is a good thing. So again, releasing New World on consoles is another step for them to see how do we release on consoles, how is it going to work on console, how is it to work with console platforms, because then when the Lord of the Rings MMO is ready, they can release it on PC and consoles at the same time because they know how it works. So very interesting. But again, all this in my world is basically just them preparing for the Lord of the Rings MMO, which is coming later. But yeah, let's move on. Pal World is getting a new island and more pals. Last year breakout Pokemon-like game Pal World is set to receive exciting new content as announced at Summer Game Fest 2024. A new trailer for Pocket Pair's popular monster catching game revealed an upcoming update that will introduce more pals, a new raid, a new island, an increased level cap. And additional features, the Sakurajima update is scheduled to drop on the June 27, bringing significant changes to Pal World. Additionally, Pocket Pair confirmed that the update will include dedicated servers for Xbox, enhancing the gameplay experience for console players. So no more need for, I guess that means no more need for like creating your own servers or hosted servers. Now they will actually have dedicated servers you can play on, which is kind of cool, I guess. So I have never played Pal World, never been into the game. I just I actually have I know a few people in Discord who really enjoyed the game, but when I look at it, I just some people are gonna hate me for saying this, but I just saw it as a cheap Pokemon clone. That sounds very harsh and negative, but I just didn't. I was just like, no, 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 no. Next up, Monster Hunter Wilds get crossplay and on all platforms. Capcom announced at Summer Game Fest 2024 that Monster Hunter Wilds will support crossplay for players on PC via Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. A new trailer for the latest installment in the Monster Hunter series confirmed this exciting future, although it was clarified that cross progression will not be supported. Despite this, the addition of crossplay is a significant update, keeping players eagerly anticipated for the game's launch in 2025. So basically, they also showed some gameplay of the game. They showed a bit more gameplay, but it's basically how I see this Monster Hunter Wilds is basically it's Monster Hunter, but in a bigger world. Everything they show just looks like open world, in my opinion. It looks like an open world Monster Hunter game that now will have crossplay support, not cross progression. So you cannot go from your PC to PlayStation and have the same character. No, but it will have cross play, which I think is fair. Like, of course, if it was an MMO or something like that, a shooter game, like for example, like we talked about Valorant and Overwatch, I think cross progression is needed. But for a game like this, where you create a new character and you level up and stuff like that, I think it's fine. It just has cross play. Yeah, I think it's fine. So, but again, yeah, exciting that Monster Hunter Worlds is going, well, not Worlds, Wilds is getting crossplay, and it's going to be on all the consoles. It's not been mentioned that it's going to be on the Nintendo, but I know Nintendo is announcing a new console in 2025, latest. So perhaps all these new games we're going to get is also going to be on that, depending on how strong the console is going to be. But I know they have no interest. Many of these new games have no interest releasing the games on the existing Nintendo Switch because it's a very, very old console. And yeah, it's very old. Next up, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, naps July release date on PC and consoles. Capcom had a strong showing at Summer Game Fest 2024, announcing that Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess will be released on July 19, 2024 for PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. An overview trailer accompanied the release date announcement, revealing that the game will also be available on Xbox Game Pass subscribers from day one. At the moment, I am actually not 100% sure. This game doesn't ring a bell at all for me right now. But with a quick Google search, I can see that, oh, yeah, it was this turn-based. No, was it turn-based or was it not turn-based? No, okay, it's not turn-based, it seems. I don't know. It, it, I'm actually not sure. It's just like a Asian game where you play these samurais, kinda, against monsters. I honestly can't see if it's turn-based or not, but it's a single-player game. Um, but yeah, still, I know it doesn't look like it's no, it looks like it's action. So imagine if you know the game Dynasty Warriors, it looks like it's kind of gonna be like that, but you against monsters. Interesting. Yeah. Next on. This was the last. This is now the last announcements. Then we have went through the entire Summer Game Fest, which is Phantom Blade Zero. So Phantom Blade Zero trailer reveals breakneck action and world tour demo. Summer Game Fest concluded with an exciting new trailer for developers. S Games Phantom Blade Zero, the nearly 2-minute video, showcased intense action and an array of weapons players will wield against the nightmarish enemies. While a release date is still pending, fans won't have to wait long to try it out. A demo world tour will kick off this weekend at Summer Game Fest, followed by appearance of China Joy in July, Gamescoms in August, and Tokyo Game Show in September. So yeah, if you're looking forward to Phantom Blade Zero, more news is coming, but so far we just got like a gameplay glimpse of it. I am not actually sure. Like in my world, when I saw the gameplay of it, it reminded me more like of Elden Ring type of game. That was what I saw. Like it has this Souls like gameplay. I guess you could say the game is the closest to a Souls-like gameplay. Yeah, I think that would be. But where you played kind of like a samurai guy. So if someone out there is more interested in this game, and you you might be like, oh, he's not right. But looking at the trailer, it looks like you have like intense boss battles. You're dodging attacks, you're attacking, dodging, attacking, dodging, which in my world is Souls like. But we'll see. But yeah, that was actually the last game. So that is basically Summer Game Fest 2020 thing. Everything announced. And quite a show. I will say I was more into the Xbox Game Showcase, which I'm excited about to talk about in the next episode. Perhaps a bit more because there wasn't that many games like this one here. But the Game Showcase definitely had some games I was more interested in, which I will save for the next episode. But for this episode, again, still we saw some quite interesting games, Summer Game Fest. Um, and yeah, so if you have been listening to this entire episode, thank you so much for listening. If you've been watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. And yeah, just thank you for supporting the show, my podcast, which I'm really enjoying making. Again, Dvalin's Tavern, your go-to gaming podcast. And I'm going on a small vacation now, so the next episode might be a bit delayed, but I'm going to get back to it as fast as possible when I get back again from the vacation. But yeah, that was Summer Game Fest and everything announced. Wow. We'll see next year again when they just confirmed that Summer Game Fest is going to happen again next year. So it's pretty wild. Pretty wild. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Again, this podcast is on every single podcast platform. I'm trying to be on every single podcast platform. I'm also on YouTube if you actually want to sit and watch me talking with some trailers in the background of me. You can also come and watch it on YouTube or listen to it on any podcast platform. So, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to the episode 6 of Dvalin's Tavern. And I'll see you for episode 7 next time. Peace out.